I want to share with you my Rotary moment. In June 2025, on my final governor visit to Curaçao, I visited the Rotary Club of Williamstad's Activity Chest project, a basic education and literacy initiative in primary schools. The Activity Chest was a box filled with educational material designed to make reading interactive and animated. The project was being done in 2 classes on that morning. I had finished visiting the first class and I had just entered the second class. Their book, which was centered around an environmentalist like Greta Thunberg, who wanted to bring about change in the world, had already been read aloud to them. Having entered the room, I observed that there were 3 young boys seated at a table with an empty seat next to them. I went and sat down, but a young man came up quickly to me and he said to me, "Miss, you are sitting in my seat." At that point, I realized that it really wasn't an empty seat, and I was about to get up and find another chair, but he said to me, No, I would bring you a chair." And he went and he brought me a chair, and that young man sat next to me. I observed that while the other children at the table had already started drawing their thoughts from the book on their Bristol board, he was yet to do anything. So I asked him, "What are you thinking about putting down on your Bristol board in terms of what would you like to see happen that can change the world?" And he said to me, "Well, I don't know." So I told him, and most of you can probably predict what came out of my mouth. I said to him, "What about something on peace?" And he looked at me. We both looked at each other. And then he said to me, "Let us live in peace." And I told him, I said, "That's a good thought." And he started writing it in Dutch on his Bristol board with a marker. Of course, by then I had become very engaged in building on his thought of let us live in peace. So I picked up my cell phone and I pulled up the peace symbol and I asked him, "Do you know what the peace symbol looks like?" And he said to me, "No." I showed it to him and that young man started drawing the peace symbol on his Bristol board. He then asked me if I could share with him how to write the words, "Let us live in peace" in English, because he knew how to speak English, but not how to write the actual words. So again, I picked up my phone and I typed the words in English on my cell phone and I showed it to him and he started transcribing the words, "Let us live in peace" in English on his Bristol board. But what happened next is that the 3 children who were doing different thoughts as to the change that they wanted to see in the world, they started looking over to see what we were doing. And every child at that table started drawing the peace symbol on their Bristol board and started writing the word peace within what they were doing. But it didn't stop there. Children from other tables in the room realized that something was happening and they started coming across to see what we were doing at our table. Of course, we shared with them that we were doing the peace symbol and including it as part of the reflections on the book. By the time the children finished, almost every Bristol board carried the peace symbol or the words peace somewhere written in it. The children had written phrases such as "Let us live in peace," "Stop fighting," "Love one another," "Let our animals live in peace," "Don't damage our environment." There were messages of peace pervading the room. And when I got up to leave, that same little boy, he ran to the front of the room and he asked it in Dutch. So I had to ask my assistant governor, Gino Campbell, to translate for me. That little boy asked if I was leaving. And I said to him, "Yes, I have to go." And on hearing that child reached out and hugged me and he said to me, "I will miss you. I love you." I felt the pores raise on my hands, and my heart felt so full at that moment. And that experience in Curacao became my Rotary moment. I saw how this simple idea, peace, could spread across an entire classroom. And that, to me, is the power of Rotary. With every project, every act of service, we as Rotarians plant seeds, seeds of hope, compassion, and peace. And just like in that classroom, those seeds can spread, they can multiply, and they can inspire others in ways we may never imagine. Peace.